Okay, so I have my camera propped up on my blanket, so I'm going to lay here and look like a fat ass because sitting up's too much work. Okay. This video is actually going to be on the baby daddy topic. I don't know if anybody watches. I think her name's Queen Bree. Pretty sure that's what her name is. But she's also a YouTube vlogger, and it's funny because she recently just made a video about baby daddies and women being strong and kind of basically along those lines. And now, as she would have said but didn't specifically say in her videos, I'm gonna sound like one of those stupid girls. Jamal, my baby's father, got a hold of me the other day and told me that now he wants to be a family. Which to me is kind of like, you had 9 months to do that. Why is it that you decide now that you want to take a role in the family life? Why is it that you want to have anything to do with me or even anything to do with your daughter? And I don't know if it's more something that's settling in with him mentally, that he's going to be a father or what, but I almost feel bad. Like, I don't care. I shouldn't say that I don't care. I do care. I never want to be treated badly or negatively by any man, and I know that I have been. But in this particular situation, I would feel wrong to say, no, he can't be involved with Olivia's life. I know that he has treated me badly and done and said things to me that were very wrong, and I shouldn't be willing to forgive him for that. However, I would much rather forgive and forget what he's done to me so that him and Olivia can have a positive relationship together. She doesn't deserve to not have her father in her life because him and I can't get along, and it's hard for me to move past what he said and done, even though that's what he's wanting me to do. But I'm just not at that point. I feel like during my pregnancy, yes, he hasn't been there for me. But it is the end of the pregnancy, and Olivia's going to be here at any given moment, and I guess I'm almost glad that he's decided now to take the initiative to be in her life. It upsets me that he wasn't there for me through all of this, because it's a huge part of any woman's life to go through all the emotional ups and downs, and a lot of women only want their significant other or partner to be there for them. I know that that's all that one of the main things that I wanted during my pregnancy was just for him to be there. And but I'm okay with giving all that up so that he can be there for Olivia, because I would rather see him take the initiative to be there for her and me still be happy because of that than hold against him what he hasn't done for me, because Olivia's happiness is more important to me than being angry at him for the things that he's done and said. So, his standpoint, currently, he's wanting to get an apartment for both Olivia and I to live with him in, and as far as I'm concerned, basically what I've said to him is that he's left me to deal with the entire pregnancy alone this entire time. So much so that I've had to make my own plans and set up things for myself and my daughter, things that he's not necessarily included in. And I got upset because I feel like, how can he expect me to change all that just because he wants to be around now? I feel like, how am I supposed to be able to put all that aside and trust and allow him back into my life and be able to confide in him that the same thing won't continue to happen, because we just fight so much. And I asked him, as a person who called me a mistake and repetitively told me that I was too much for them, why would you want that person to be a partner with you? Why would you want to live with that person? And he just said that he's ready to have a family and that he's sorry and that he didn't mean all that. And like I had said, that he had those entire 9 months to be there for me, that he chose not to, and now he suddenly decides that that's what he wants. And it upsets me because when I needed him the most, he left me, and not only me, but his daughter, who I'm carrying, behind, like we didn't even matter. But I told him that I wasn't just going to forgive and forget, and that I didn't think it was fair that he put all that on me right away, because it was like weeks without hardly hearing from him at all, and then suddenly out of nowhere he wants to be a family and he wants us to live together. So he basically just said that he understands and that I should take my time, and that he's sorry. He said that he just wants a family and that he didn't mean to hurt my feelings. And he said, and I don't really know how to take this. This I will read word for word, but he said, "I thought family sticks together." And I kind of felt like, well, yeah, if that were the case, we were supposed to be a family from the moment that I had told him that I was pregnant, and he completely walked out on me. So why should... what I said to him was, I expected you to be there for me through so many things that you never pulled through for. I told him that as a woman that I need something more, and that I don't want to play house, that I want the real thing. I want to be a mother first, because Olivia is and always will be my first priority, but I do want a commitment from a man. I want something that's going to be forever. I don't want something that's going to be on and off. And he said that's exactly what he wants, and that what he sees a family being is just me and him and Olivia. I asked him why he wasn't wanting to introduce a step-parent into Olivia's life, and he said that he doesn't want to do that because she only needs to see us. Because I had asked him a question about it, and he said that it's either going to be me or nobody for him. And then I asked him, like, if we were to work things out, how I would be treated. Like, would I still be treated the way that I had been treated for the past few months? And I asked him if we would ever be more than what we are right now, or what we had been in the past as far as our relationship's concerned. We've always just been, I guess, boyfriend and girlfriend. There was a point in time where our relationship was really good, and we were like each other's best friend, and we were friends before we got together and made our relationship official, and before I got pregnant. But part of me wants something more, and I can't necessarily even put my thumb on what more I'm wanting. I know that at some point I'll want a commitment from him. I know that at some point I will want a marriage, and how everything else is supposed to play out just like it would for anybody. I want the fairy tale with the picket fence and the dog and the house and all of that. But maybe I feel like I'm dreaming too much. I feel like that's a fantasy, and that's something that's not reality or anything that would or may possibly ever happen for me, especially being so young with a child. I find it hard to even see what tomorrow is going to be like. I have no idea how I'm going to juggle being a mother, going to work, going to school, maintaining a healthy relationship with somebody, and being healthy and financially stable. All of that just, something's going to give. And I don't know what needs to give. The only thing that would even be able to give would be a relationship or myself being healthy. Everything else has to be a priority at this point. And I don't want to not put everything into a relationship. I don't want him to feel like if we get back together that I don't care, or that I'm not giving him enough attention because I have 1,000 other things that I need to worry about. But he says that he plans to get married within the next 2 years. But I don't know. And then I asked him if he was going to be at the hospital, and he said that he would be, but here's the other problem. The hospital that I deliver at, from 8 p.m. at night until 8 p.m. in the morning, nobody can be in labor delivery unless you have an ID on you. But with that ID, you have to be 18 or older. So, Jamal has not only lost the ID that he did have, but he's not 18. He won't be 18 until July 20th, and the chances of me being pregnant that much longer are very slim. So, I don't really know what to do. I don't know if anything can be done at the hospital where we could like sign papers or something that would allow him to be there, but he is the father, and of course I want him to be in the room when she's born and all of that. But I just don't know how. It wouldn't be an issue if she's born between the time of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. like during the day, but as far as evening hours and early morning hours, he wouldn't be allowed to be there. And then he brought it up again, the living together situation, and I told him that if we do live together, that it's not going to be anything that happens right away. He wanted to know why, and I just basically told him just because I don't feel that I can rely on him. So then he was like, well, you don't need to feel that way. We're supposed to be family, and family doesn't give up on each other. And I was like, but it was okay for him to give up on me and Olivia during this entire pregnancy, and I'm just supposed to still be by his side. I just told him that I didn't really know what's best for us, and I guess where I stand on the entire situation, just to sum it all up, so I'm not going through every single one of these text messages super slowly, is just that I feel like if him and I are going to be together or try to make anything work, and I'm not going to give the excuse I want to make it work for my daughter, because I do still have feelings for him. I do still love him. I don't feel like that is something that will ever change. I don't think anybody or anything will be able to take away that feeling, considering I have a child with this man. We have history, an entire past. He's completely changed my life in some negative and some positive ways, but he's given me the best gift that anybody could ever give me in the entire world, and that is my daughter. So I'm not going to say that I want to do this because I want my daughter to see a happy family, because everybody gives that excuse. I'm just going to be 100% honest, and yes, maybe that plays a part in it, but I also want to do it for me. And that probably sounds stupid, considering everything that he's done to me that's been so negative, but when I look back on things, all the negatives pretty much been recent things. I mean, if you go back and watch videos of what our relationship was like before, we were really happy, and now it's just things change, and maybe he got scared, or maybe he felt like it was something that he couldn't do, and I don't want to sit here and make excuses for him either. But I guess the long of the short of the long, whatever, is that I told him that I won't live with him right away. What I think is best for us to do is, for the first few months that she's born, she needs to be at home anyways. Until she gets all of her shots and it's safe for her to be outside and not get sick and all of that, then she needs to be at home. And while that's going on, he needs to take the initiative and be here for her. And here I mean my house. Home to her right now would be my house. And so when I see that he can come around, and that he will come around and make the initiative to see his daughter, well, that'll give him more bonus points. When I see that him and I can have a healthy relationship and get along better, or even just get along because I know things will be hard, especially with a baby, then he'll get more bonus points. And then as time goes on, and when she can get out, I'll allow her to stay with him. But he has to have his own place. And I'm not going to allow her to stay with him alone. That's something that's going to be me staying with him, her staying with him, all three of us in the same house staying together. Because if we're going to truly be a family, that's a family environment. That's what my daughter, or that I feel my daughter should be placed in and surrounded with, is family. So I don't think it's right for her or for me to just leave her with him. And I wouldn't expect him to just leave her with me. Now I know that that's what the situation is going to be while she's little. and that's the safest and best decision considering where he lives currently and things like that. There's a lot of other things that play into that, but after we can, you know, get along with just weekends or days that I'm off of work, then we will seriously consider and decide whether it's best for us to live together. But with us living together, I don't see that happening for another 6 months to a year. So it's down the road. It's something that's would be coming up quickly, but it's still down the road. So it gives him to decide, or it gives him enough time to decide whether he's really going to want her and I to live there, or if he's just going to want to live alone. And it gives me enough time to decide whether he's going to be the right man for not just her, but for us. And so that's how I'm going to let things play out for now. And maybe within the next 6 months to a year, we'll be living together. And then I guess that would mean that the following year after that, we would become married if time plays out the way that it's expected to play out. And then after that, we would have the rest of our lives together. But for now, I think it's best that we both just breathe, get through just having the baby in general, and then focus on us before we try to put ourselves in a situation where we have to know and learn each other so quickly in a household with a baby. That's not a good environment for her. It's not a good environment for either one of us. And I know that after I have this baby, my emotions and hormones are going to be all over the place all over again. There's going to be a crying baby, and there's just so much more that's going to happen that if he couldn't handle me while I was pregnant, he's not going to be able to handle me while I'm struggling to deal with a newborn infant on my own. So that's where I stand. If anybody agrees or disagrees, if anybody has any input that they would like to put into this situation, please feel free to do that. I want to hear what you guys want to say, or how you guys, or how you guys feel about the situation. Because I do listen to you guys, and I do like what I hear, or the things that you say, and I really take that into serious consideration. I'm 100% honest with you guys, and I expect that you guys to be 100% honest with me. And if you think that what I'm doing isn't the right decision, then I want somebody to let me know, because you guys also sway how I feel. So, with that being said, how things have gone lately, how our relationship has been in the past, this is where I stand now. Now, nothing is completely set in stone, but I just kind of wanted to make a video just to rant before I have this baby about where things stand as far as baby daddy. So, please feel free to start conversation, and that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching another video, guys. Bye.